A woman showed up at the airport last month with the same driver's license she has used for years. Same photo, same address, same everything. But when she got to the TSA checkpoint, the officer looked at her ID and told her it was no longer accepted. She had two choices: pay $45 on the spot for an alternative verification process, or turn around and go home. She paid. And when she finally got through, it took almost 30 minutes of extra screening while hundreds of other passengers walked right past her. That woman is not alone. Millions of Americans are walking into airports in 2026 completely unprepared for what has changed. And it is not just the ID situation. Almost everything about the airport experience has been quietly rewritten over the past 12 months. New fees where there used to be none. Old rules that vanished overnight. Technology that did not exist 2 years ago now deciding whether you board your flight or not. I talk to travelers every single week, and the pattern is always the same. They plan the trip, they pack the bag, they get to the airport, and then something catches them completely off guard. A fee they did not expect. A rule they did not know about. A process that works nothing like it did on their last flight. And almost every time the reaction is the same. When did this change? Nobody told me. What frustrates me is that nobody is putting all of this in one place. You hear about one change on the news. You catch a headline about another. But nobody sits you down and walks you through the full picture, so you actually understand what is different and what it means for your next trip. That is what we are doing right now. I spent weeks going through TSA announcements, Department of Transportation filings, and airline policy updates, so you do not have to. Every single thing I am about to tell you is confirmed and current as of February 2026. No guesses, no outdated information, just the facts that will determine whether your next airport experience goes smoothly or falls apart before you even reach the gate. Let us start with the one that is costing people real money. The Real ID deadline that everyone kept pushing back finally landed. Full enforcement began on May 7th, 2025, and the federal government is not budging anymore. If your state-issued driver's license does not have a gold or black star printed in the upper right corner, it does not meet the federal standard. For years, TSA would let travelers through with a warning if they showed up without one. Those days are done. Starting February 1st, 2026, TSA rolled out a system called ConfirmID. Here is how it works. You arrive at the checkpoint without a compliant ID, and instead of being turned away, you are offered a chance to verify your identity through this new system. But it costs $45 out of your pocket. You pay through a government website or at the airport, and the fee covers a 10-day travel window. After those 10 days, if you still have not updated your license, you pay again for the next trip. The process itself is not quick either. TSA says it can take up to 30 minutes depending on the airport and how many other people are going through the same thing. That means you could be standing there watching everyone else breeze through security while you wait. And here is the part that catches people off guard. There is no guarantee the system can verify you. If they cannot confirm your identity, you might not fly at all. 95 to 99% of travelers are already showing up with compliant IDs according to the latest TSA numbers. But that remaining handful of people, many of them older travelers who never got around to updating their license, are paying the price every single week. The fix is simple. Pull out your license right now and look at the top right corner. Star there, you are good. No star, you either need to visit your DMV or carry your passport to the airport instead. A United States passport, a passport card, a military ID, or a tribal-issued photo ID are all accepted. Do not leave this to chance on the morning of your flight. And a quick note, if you do need to pay. TSA recommends paying the $45 fee online through their website before you get to the airport. You can use a credit card, debit card, or even Venmo and PayPal. If you wait to pay at the airport, expect even longer delays because you will need to step out of line to handle it. Save your confirmation email or take a screenshot of the receipt. You will need to show it to the TSA officer at the checkpoint. Now, something that actually went in your favor. You no longer have to take off your shoes at security. TSA ended the shoe removal requirement in July of 2025 after more than 2 decades of making every adult passenger send their footwear through the X-ray machine. The reason behind the change is new scanning technology that can detect threats through shoes without requiring you to take them off. Unless the scanner picks up something unusual around your feet, which triggers a secondary check, you walk straight through with your shoes on. For anyone dealing with balance issues, joint pain, or mobility limitations, this single change removes what used to be one of the most awkward and physically demanding moments in the security line. No more hopping on one foot while trying to pull off a boot. No more walking across a cold floor in your socks. Just keep moving. Along with the shoe change, a growing number of airports have installed new CT scanners at their checkpoints. These machines create 3-dimensional images of everything inside your bag, which means at airports using this equipment, you may not need to pull out your laptop or your little plastic bag of liquids anymore. The scanner sees through it all clearly enough to make those old steps unnecessary. Not every airport has upgraded yet, so when you get to the security line, follow whatever instructions are posted at that specific checkpoint. If the sign says leave everything in your bag, leave it. If it says take your laptop out, take it out. It depends entirely on whether your airport has the new machines. Let me get into what might be the biggest story in the airline industry this year. Southwest Airlines, the carrier that built its reputation on being different from everybody else, changed everything. On January 27, 2026, Southwest officially ended its open seating policy after more than 50 years. No more checking in 24 hours early to race for a good boarding position. No more A, B, and C groups lining up at poles near the gate. All of that is gone. When you book a Southwest flight today, you pick your seat at the time of purchase, same as you would on Delta, United, or American. The airline divided its cabin into 3 seat categories. Standard seats are in the back. Preferred seats sit closer to the front, and extra legroom seats, mostly near the exit rows, offer up to 5 additional inches of space. Your seat choice determines your boarding group, which now ranges from Group 1 through Group 8. But Southwest did not stop there. In May of 2025, they also ended their famous bags fly free policy. For over 50 years, every Southwest passenger could check 2 bags at no charge. That benefit is now reserved only for top-tier loyalty members and certain premium fare types. Everyone else pays $35 for the first checked bag and $45 for the second. If you have been a loyal Southwest flyer specifically because of free bags and open seating, both of those things are gone. The airline is now priced and structured almost identically to its competitors. The only way to still get 2 free checked bags is by holding A-list preferred status, flying on a business select or choice extra fare, or being active duty military. A-list members and Southwest credit card holders get 1 free bag, but the second one costs money. This is worth paying attention to, even if you do not fly Southwest, because it shows the direction the entire industry is heading. Every airline is finding new ways to charge for things that used to be included. Seat selection fees, carry-on enforcement, baggage charges, priority boarding. If you are not reading the fine print when you book, you can easily end up paying $50 to $100 more than the ticket price you thought you were getting. On top of all this, airlines across the board are tightening the rules on what you can bring into the cabin. The carry-on size standard that most airlines now enforce is 22 by 14 by 9 inches, and that measurement includes the wheels and the telescoping handle. A lot of people own suitcases that were sold as carry-on size 3 or 4 years ago, but actually exceed the current limit once you account for the hardware. Gate agents in 2026 are measuring bags more frequently, and if yours does not fit the sizer at the boarding door, you could be forced to gate check it or pay a fee, depending on the airline. The personal item situation is tightening up too. For years, travelers stretched that rule by bringing oversized backpacks and calling them personal items. Airlines are checking dimensions more often now, and anything that clearly does not fit under the seat may trigger a fee or a forced check. I want to take a quick pause here. We have covered the ID penalties, the shoe change, the scanner upgrades, the Southwest overhaul, and the carry-on crackdowns. And honestly, there is still more ground to cover. All of these changes happening at the same time can make your head spin, especially if you only fly a couple of times a year and cannot keep up with every policy update. A while back, I came across a resource called the Airport Survival Guide that covers 47 tips, rights, and strategies that most travelers never hear about. Everything from handling medications at security, to knowing exactly what the airline owes you when things go wrong, to navigating new rules without the stress. It has helped a lot of people feel more prepared before even setting foot in the terminal. If that sounds like something you could use, the link is pinned right in the comments and down in the description. All right, back to it. Digital identification is expanding across the country. Over 250 airports now accept digital IDs stored in your phone through Apple Wallet, Google Wallet, or Samsung Wallet. If your state offers a digital license, you can load it onto your device and present it at the TSA checkpoint instead of handing over a physical card. You tap your phone on the reader, confirm your identity with your face or fingerprint, and you are through. It removes the risk of accidentally leaving your license at the checkpoint or forgetting it in the car. That said, not every state has rolled this out yet, and not every TSA lane is equipped to handle it. Until the system is fully universal, always carry your physical ID as a backup. Connected to that technology push, facial recognition cameras are now operating at more than 50 airports across the country. You will find them at boarding gates, customs checkpoints, and some security lanes. The camera compares your face to the photo on file from your passport or identification without you needing to pull out a single document. It speeds up the process considerably. But if you are not comfortable with it, you have every right to opt out. Just tell the agent, and they will verify your identity the traditional way with a manual document check. There is no penalty and no extra charge for opting out. Here is one that shocks almost everyone who hears about it for the first time. More than 20 airports in the United States now offer visitor pass or guest pass programs that allow non-travelers to go through security and enter the terminal. Ontario International Airport in California was the first to launch a fully digital visitor pass and has nearly 100,000 registered users. Seattle, San Diego, Orlando, Philadelphia, Palm Springs, John Wayne Airport in Orange County, and Tulsa all have their own versions of this program. You apply online, either the same day or up to 7 days in advance. TSA runs a background check, and if approved, you get a digital pass that works like a boarding pass through the checkpoint. It is free at most airports. This means a family member can walk you to the gate, help you settle in, or meet you the moment you step off the plane, something that has not been possible at most airports since 2001. I cannot tell you how many people get emotional when they find out about this. Being able to walk a parent or grandparent to their gate, especially someone who gets nervous about navigating a busy terminal alone, that changes the whole experience. If you live near one of these airports or plan to fly through one, check their website for the Visitor Pass application. It takes a few minutes to fill out, and the peace of mind is worth it. Also, even at airports that do not have a formal Visitor Pass program, most airlines will still issue what is called an escort pass or gate pass if you ask for one at the ticket counter. This is typically available for people accompanying elderly travelers, passengers with disabilities, or unaccompanied minors. You need a valid government ID. There is usually no charge. But you do have to go through the normal security screening, so plan extra time. And while we are talking about help at the airport, do not forget that TSA Cares still exists. This is a free service where you call ahead, at least 72 hours before your trip, and let TSA know about any medical condition, disability, or concern you have about the screening process. They flag your reservation so that when you show up, the officers already understand your situation. No need to explain anything in a loud security line surrounded by strangers. The number is 1-855-787-2227. Two more things you need to know before I wrap up. First, the automatic cash compensation rule for flight delays that many travelers were counting on never went into effect. The federal government dropped that proposal, which means airlines are not required to pay you anything when your flight is delayed, no matter how long you wait. Some carriers voluntarily offer meal vouchers or rebooking, but there is no law forcing their hand. However, refund protections from 2024 are still active. If your flight is canceled or rescheduled by more than 3 hours on a domestic route, you are legally entitled to a full refund to your original payment method. That includes the ticket price, seat fees, and any paid extras that were not delivered. Second, lithium battery enforcement is stricter than ever. If you travel with a smart suitcase that has a built-in battery, that battery must be removable by hand. If it is not removable, most airlines will refuse to check your bag or even let it in the overhead bin. Spare lithium batteries and portable chargers must always go in your carry-on, never in checked luggage, and devices with damaged or swollen batteries will not be allowed on the aircraft at all. These are safety rules tied to fire risk, and airlines are enforcing them with zero tolerance in 2026. That covers every major change hitting airports and airlines right now. I know it feels like a lot, and honestly, it is a lot. More has shifted in the past year than most travelers can absorb from a single news headline. But here is what I want you to take away from this. None of these changes have to ruin your trip if you know about them ahead of time. Check your ID tonight. Measure your bag this weekend. Look into whether your airport has a visitor pass program. Save the TSA CARES number in your phone. These are small steps that take 5 minutes but prevent the kind of problems that can throw off an entire trip. I have seen too many people lose time, lose money, and lose their patience at the airport over things they could have avoided with a little preparation. A $45 fee because they did not check their license. A gate check fee because their suitcase was half an inch too wide. A missed boarding group because nobody told them Southwest changed its entire system. Every one of those situations was preventable. And now that you have watched this, every one of them is preventable for you too. The airport is not the place to learn the rules for the first time. You learn them here. You prepare at home. And then you walk through that terminal knowing exactly what to expect while everyone around you is scrambling to figure out what went wrong. If you found this useful, send it to somebody who is flying soon. They will thank you later. And if you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and tap that button so the next time something changes at the airport, you hear about it before you are standing in line wondering why everything looks different. Stay sharp out there.